What is going on, guys? I haven't really done a RC collection video. I have done kind of one a while back at the beginning of the channel, but obviously things changed a lot since then. And yeah, so I figured I would do a RC collection and show you all my RC crap. And while amongst doing all of that, I can show you some of my projects that will probably maybe eventually make their way to the channel. But I got all my RCs out, so we're going to take a look at them. Well, it has been a long time since I've had all my RCs out. This is all of my running RCs at the moment. And at the moment, I can say that actually every single one of these is ready to rip at the moment. Which, you know, for an RCer, that is something rare. So, obviously you guys know the bouncers. Some of my RCs have names, some of them don't. Obviously, all my bouncers have names. For those that may be new to the channel, my main focus on this channel, I mean, it's not really my main focus, but it is kind of what the channel brings a lot of, is rock bouncing. Obviously, I have a series, and we do a lot of racing. And I have a park in my backyard. Like I said, if this is your first video, you got a lot of catching up to do. But yeah. These are my rock bouncers. We got Cockroach, which is a Sam Dubé chassis RC Fabratory out of Canada. We got my drone, everybody knows, DJI drone. We got Screamin' Blue, which is pro-built RC out of Italy. That was a gift from my buddy Dave Roy. You can go back on my channel and hear the whole story about that one. This is Blue Dream, which is my current race buggy. I do sometimes race with Screamin' Blue, but this is my designated race buggy. It's been set up for years, and I've been racing with it for the past couple years. It is a Keller RC Performance chassis, and this one kind of sort of has a special story. It's called Blue Dream because of how I got all the parts that are on it. If you go back on my channel and look up Key City Hobby, aka Super Shafty headquarters, I went and built hills for them, and that was kind of their gift to me. So that kind of covers the bouncers. Then we kind of go into Savage Land. I've mentioned it many times before. I'm a huge HPI Savage fan. This one has been with me for 19 years. I bought it used, completely stock, when I was about 15, 16, somewhere in there, and I've kept it and upgraded it. And if you would have asked me as a kid what I wanted, or what I wanted to look like, this is what I wanted to look like when I was like 16 years old. So yeah, many years later, 19 years later, it's finally sitting how I wanted it, and it is called my OG Savage, not because it's all original, but because it's the oldest one that I have. Then we go on to my Savage Sandrail, which, yeah, is kind of self-explanatory. It's a sandrail that I built. All the tube work is all from me. It's all custom. All the red that you see is brake line. All the silver down there is solid rod. I call it the Savage Sandrail because the transmission, the engine plate, and the whole rear end is the same thing as Savage. So that's kind of my Savage Sandrail. Then we got my Savage 25, which is completely stock besides the tires, which I'm missing a wheel nut, but besides the tires, it is absolutely completely stock. Obviously I'm missing part of the air filter, but as you see, it's very clean, and I don't really run it that much since I have so many other Savages. Then we got my, what I call my Franken Savage. It's a HPI Savage base, obviously, and I was bashing it yesterday, so there's some shocks hanging off. Don't mind that. But there is a Arma center diff in there. If you look up, once we get over there, it has the same center diff as any 6S Arma. So, long story short, making an actual nitro Savage brushless and doing it the right way, aka buying a couple $100 worth of upgrades and things to change it, to put a center diff in it, I decided that 70 bucks and some of my time to figure out how to put it in there was a lot better. So I made my own brushless Savage. Once we get into the shop, I'll show you the other one. I did have a brushless Savage that was converted from nitro to brushless, but it was really slow. Anyway, so that covers Savage land. Then we get into the next row. I guess we'll start over here. We're already over here. So this is kind of one that I get quite a few comments on. I don't know why, but I think it's probably because it's the only one that has the Jet Pro exhaust on there. But anyways, this is a 1/5 Red Cat Camaro, however you want to say it. But yeah, it is completely stock besides the gearing and yeah, the pipe. I was going to say the servo, but servo is not really an upgrade. But anyway, the Jet Pro exhaust is kind of why this thing gets so much attention. I haven't really seen too many other Red Cats with the Jet Pro exhaust, which does sound awesome. You can go back on my videos and see this thing in action. So that kind of covers that. I did put a light bar on it. My battery's kind of dying, but anyway, that's the my fifth scale. Then we come over to what I just filmed a video on, so I don't know which order I'm going to put these videos in, but I did just film a video of this, me ripping it around and everything. But this is my 1/6. It was supposed to be nitro, but crap happened. Excuse me. Crap happened and it just didn't work out. But anyways, this is my 1/6 rat rod Jeep that I built, and pretty much I built the whole freaking thing, besides obviously the obvious things. The body is a Nylite Jeep crawler body. You could buy them in Walmart. Once we get in the shop, I'll show you the other one. But everything else I built, it was supposed to be nitro, but I had a dilemma breaking in the motor and mishap with the transmission. So, but there'll be some more in-depth videos of this thing pretty soon, or you can go back and watch the build video. But that's my rat rod. Then I got a new to me buggy, obviously Kyosho Inferno. They're relatively new, but it has a pretty much race engine in it. It's like a freaking $400 engine out of a race buggy. The stock engine was kind of crap, so I had that, threw it in there. That thing absolutely rips. I was actually ripping that yesterday, and that was a lot of fun. As you see, I'm a big nitro fan. So we got another nitro. This is actually another new to me. Just put it together. I've been on vacation. I'm not sure when you'll see this video, but I've been on vacation for the past week and got a bunch of Kyosho Truggy parts. And once we go in the shop, you'll see. But yeah, so this kept me busy. It was pretty much in pieces in a box. I had the motor, obviously, but the whole Truggy was in a box, and I spent the last couple days kind of piecing it together out of the couple that I got. And the Nova Rossi is a motor that I used to have in a Wosi Truggy that I used to have, and threw it in this. Got it ripping yesterday. It's okay, still needs a little bit of tuning, and I need some better tires because one of these rims is cracked and one is mixing a hex somewhere. But it was good enough for me just to tune the engine yesterday. So you'll end up seeing some more of the Kyosho Truggies. I know there's not too many nitro fans, but for the ones that are maybe watching this, I am going to do a nitro video where I'm probably going to run all my nitros in one video to, yeah, just to burn some fuel. All right, so my last running one, which I'm not even going to bother taking off the body because it is completely stock. I have not done a single thing to this thing. Okay, I did do something. I put 1 million weight freaking diff oil in the center diff. That is the only thing that I've done to it besides beat on it. Absolutely love it. If you guys have any questions about any of the RCs, or I missed something, feel free to drop some questions in the comments. We're gonna go into the shop and show you the rest of my crap. Well, here's my shop I built. It's better than nothing. Obviously, normally I have all my RCs up here. The Nylite bodies that I was telling you about. This is the same thing that I built my rat rod out of. That's what that started out as. Also Old Blue. You can go back on my channel and see plenty of things of Old Blue. We'll get into those. So I guess we're gonna get into the more boring crap. The all my RC stuff. So this is my most recent purchase. Got a bunch of Kyosho stuff, Kyosho truggies. There's another one over there. Got a bunch of all brand new parts and stuff. Imagine everybody has a giant tire rack. Way too many tires that you probably don't need, but you still hold on to anyways. And we got, what we got in here? We got a bunch of freaking just motors, speed controls, old motors. That's all bouncer parts. We got heat shrinks. That's all HPI Savage parts. Speaking of more Savage parts, this whole thing is full of Savage parts, extra transmissions, basically everything you can imagine. More parts. This is just miscellaneous random parts. We got buggy front ends. There's all kinds of stuff, random stuff of all sorts. Go into the lower drawer. We got some nitro stuff, giant box of springs. We got more speed controls, SCX6 speed control, my old 1/10 speed control, more nitro stuff. We got, what is this? More nitro stuff. Like I said, big nitro fan. Nitro was my first love. Long before I got electric ones. So some of the other random stuff that I just have kind of sitting around. If you have, look up RC Command. He's a sponsor of our series. This is a long story, but this is one of his old chassis. I got test subject sitting up here. This is the first chassis that I ever built from the ground up. Not perfect, but give me a break. This is my first one. Dropping stuff. We got Hazard Buggy sitting up here. For those that have been following along, Hazard Buggy's actually going back to Canada to get some modifications pretty soon. Let's see, what else? What else we got? I guess we can go into projects. So this is kind of my, I call it my RC graveyard. We got, yes, another Savage sitting up here. My buddy DW just gave this to me. Not really sure what to do with it. The motor is pretty much blown. It's an Exceed, one of the cheap nitros. Not really sure what I'm going to do to that. We do have Old Blue sitting up here. I lost, well, I didn't lose the axles. The RC four-wheel drive bully axles. Yeah, they gave out. And apparently, after RC four-wheel drive made them for a couple months, they decided to discontinue them. So I can't find parts for them anymore. So that's kind of where the project comes into. Old Blue version 5. Yes, we're on version 5 already. It's probably going to be SCX6 axles and transmission, but as everybody knows, that stuff is really expensive. So that's why it is kind of just hanging on the wall right now. And I don't have a crawler, which is kind of annoying. I like going crawling. But that is why Old Blue's sitting up here. Not really sure what I'm going to do with the other Savage. I mean, obviously I have enough already. This thing is almost complete. I'm actually thinking about maybe making that one brushless and making maybe my brushless basher. Pretty sure I mentioned this is probably going to become another rat rod or hot rod Jeep maybe. I'd like to have one electric and one with a engine of some sorts. Probably not nitro, because that's just kind of, I was asking too much. But I might do one with a kind of like a fifth scale engine. I'm trying to actually look for a weed whacker and maybe hope that I can maybe get that to work with a drive shaft. And yeah, I want another rat rod with an engine and one electric. The electric one will have some hopefully some cool things to where I can maybe make it go up and down. That is what I wanted to do with the rat rod originally, but just it didn't work out. You can go back and watch the build video and see what happened. Alright, so I think the only project that you can't really see that I have to show you is one that's been sitting in a box for a long time. So before I even open it, it's going to be a 1/10 nitro hot rod. So you can see I'm into models. I used to do a bunch of models when I was a kid, and during winter when there was nothing else to do and I didn't have enough money to play with RCs like I do now, I built a bunch of models. So I used to be into models and I knew this thing was around. It's a 1/8 scale 32 Ford body. So I bought all the body pieces on eBay, and I really want to make a 1/10 nitro hot rod. Rather than, I'm not picking on anybody that does it, but everybody that puts a Lexan body on a Slash or whatever and they call it a hot rod, that's not what I want to do. I want to build it kind of like my rat rod with that kind of style of look, but be a hot rod and be nitro. So that's kind of the idea. Not really sure when I'm going to get to that. Like I said, I do a lot of my builds during the winter, so we'll see what happens. Well guys, that is going to do it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a look at my RC collection and all of my crap. Till next time, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.